Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here to give you my favorite NBA player prop picks today. We're talking Saturday, March 8th. It's my mom's birthday. Happy birthday to Mama Modai. I'm going to have 5 NBA player prop picks for you guys to lock in. I'm going to have one ladder play as well. So pretty confident in what we have and what ends up being a pretty juicy card for this beautiful Saturday. Reminder to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get into how yesterday's picks went before we can get into today's picks. Really, really good. I had 4 picks total, got 3 of them to cash. I lost 1. Jamal Murray rebounds wasn't even close. Was really hoping we can get the 4-0 sweep, but we were able to cash out Valanciunas rebounds, Yusuf Nurkic rebounds, and Walker Kessler points. Very good day overall. 3 and 1, up about 2.5 units, a little bit below 2.5 units. Really, really happy with what has happened this week. It's been a really good week. And that now brings our profit on the season to up about 35 units on the year, like a little bit over 35 units. Which I'm also pretty pleased with that when you consider kind of how frustrating this season has been. You take a step back, 35 units in profit, also over 6% ROI as well. I added the ROI just so you guys can kind of see what those units have led in terms of our return on investment. 6% ROI isn't going to put us in the gambling hall of fame, but it's at least money in the green. Money in the green, it's money, it's in the green, whatever that may be. So for today, again, 5 bangers for you guys to lock in. Reminder to like the video, comment, subscribe. Let's start talking bangers. So I have Props Madness up on the screen here, my favorite NBA betting tool. If you're interested in checking out Props Madness, I put a link to them in the description of the video as well as the pinned comment. If you sign up, it would help me a lot if you used my promo code MODI, M-O-D-I, all caps. And I think you can get 25% off as well. Anyway, so I actually don't have a play in these first 5 games. I have 5 picks total. I have 2 games where I have 2 picks each. So obviously that means we're not spraying the entire board in terms of games, but these 2 teams just played each other, Pelicans and Rockets, Pacers and Hawks. Nets and Hornets are 2 teams I don't know what to do with. There is some value here in this Bulls Heat game, which I'll talk about in the leans section. And then Wizards Raptors, I just kind of want to wait on until we find out who's playing. So anyways, the first official banger that we have, Damian Lillard. I took him 25 plus points. I got this at plus 125 odds at Bet365. So you see that his main line basically everywhere is 23.5. I just pumped that bad boy up one more. I got 25 plus, get plus money. In this specific situation, I mean, I'm almost always down to bet Dame 25 plus when we're getting plus money, and especially in matchups like this. Now, you might not think that the Magic are a good matchup for Damian Lillard. They have a really good defense. I mean, they have the second best defense overall in terms of defensive net rating, but they're weak in the ways in which Damian Lillard scores, which makes it a perfect matchup for him specifically. And just to kind of give you guys an example of that, let's go to his head-to-head. He's played the Magic 3 times this year, 28 points, 29 points, 30 points. If these trends continue, he will score 31 points tonight. Maybe we should have gone 30 plus, but I'm good with 25 plus. He's averaging 29 points per game against them. He's also averaging 25.5 points on the season and 26 points over his last 23 games. So it's like we are getting a crazy discount, and I believe it's because of the matchup, which on paper is a tough matchup, but honestly not really. Normally, if you look at his recent games, I will get scared off by someone that is coming off of a 34-point game, going 5 of 8 from the field, 11 of 15. Obviously, you're going to have to bake in some natural regression off of a shooting performance like that. The reason why I'm not scared off is because prior to that game, he had missed it in 3 of his last 4 games, and he had missed it in 4 of his last 6 as well. And we see those games. It's like 2 of 12 from the field, 2 of 8 from deep, 7 of 22 from the field, 4 of 11, 5 of 9, 3 of 6, so really just didn't shoot at all, and then 9 of 18, 2 of 10. So some positive regression was expected for Dame, which came through. He only played 27 minutes. They won by 30, so I'm good even with that recent hit rate. The matchup, as you can see, like 3 of his top 4 play types, the Magic are below average, so they're not the worst. I mean, 17th in terms of points per game allowed to the pick and roll ball handler is not among the worst. It's bottom half. Free throws, they do foul, 5th most points per game via free throws. And then sure, transition, they're top 10. Good transition defense, but isolation, 21st in terms of points per game allowed, top 10 in terms of the points they allow, or bottom 10, however you want to describe it. So it's 3 of the top 4 where they were good to decent matchup for Damian Lillard. And don't be scared off by this number. The Magic do not give up any catch and shoot opportunities. That's why they give up the fewest points per game via the above the break 3-pointer. If you look at pull-ups They actually are among the defenses that allow the most pull-up opportunities in the entire NBA, which is perfect for Damian Lillard. Evidence of that, 8 of 13 players with Dame's scoring profile have hit the over against the Orlando Magic. And I get that Dame is 3 of those 3, of course, but it's also like since December. I mean, Maxey missed in 2 straight games. Maxey's kind of been hit or miss. But since then, it's what, like 6 of 8 have gone over against the Magic. So it's a really, really good matchup that Dame has performed well in, and we're getting an awesome price. You know, this should be 25.5 for minus money, but it's 25 plus for plus money. So I'm good to go with it. That's our first play. Next up, so I have two picks in each of these last 2 games. Let's start with just the first game on the schedule here. Pistons versus Warriors. Both my plays are actually backing guys on the Pistons. The first one is Malik Beasley, and I actually took him 18 plus points. That was at plus 105 at Fanatics. If you wanted to be safe, you could get a better price. You could go over 15.5 at minus 125, or you could go over 16.5 at minus 110. In my opinion, for someone like Malik Beasley, that 18 plus number is kind of the key one. I mean, he does land on exactly 16 and 15 a couple times. So if you wanted to get like really pay for the juice to get the over 15.5, but I don't think that's worth it. I like the 18 plus for Malik Beasley. I like the fact that he's missed it in 3 of his last 4 games. I mean, 16 points, 6 of 18, 4 of 11, 15 points, 3 of 14, 6 of 17, and then only 14 points, 4 of 10, and 5 of 12. Like, he is a very, very streaky shooter, and we see him go through stretches like this when he cashed in, I don't know, what's this, 10 of 12 games? Since then, yeah, it's not been as good. It's been like 3 of his last 10, 3 of his last 9, whatever that is. So we are getting, this is a perfect fade of recent results, positive regression type of play. And it's almost as good of a matchup as you could possibly ask for. The Warriors defense is really good, but they give up a ton of points to the spot-up shooter, and that is the most important thing here. Now, we see that they're pretty good elsewhere, but it's all about this spot-up shooter. They really struggle guarding spot-ups. I know I'm saying that word a ton. And Malik Beasley is like one of the best spot-up guys in the entire NBA. 31% of his points come via the spot-up, and it's like among the tops in the NBA in terms of points per game via the spot-up. And if you look at Malik Beasley, and we're going to look at him against teams versus his play type, which we see right here, is spot-up. And we'll just start with bottom half. How has he performed against teams in the bottom half guarding his spot-up, or guarding spot-ups? It's 19 of 29 games, which is really, really good. And if you look specifically without Jaden Ivey, who is like a big reason why he's been playing better recently, it's 12 of 17. It's a 70% hit rate against teams in the bottom half guarding spot-up shooters. That's exactly what we're looking at here. And even further, 11 of 15 players with his scoring profile have hit their over against the Warriors. Now, this is a little bit misleading by an average of 5 points above what their over-under is priced at. When someone goes off for 44 against you, that's going to juice the numbers a little bit. But even then, I mean, it's 17 points, 13.5, 17, 14.5, 17, 9.5, 11, 9.5. It's 21. Beasley, against them earlier this year, scored 21 points. His over-under was 19.5 in that game. Look how high that is compared to the last one. And he didn't even shoot that well. 4 of 14 from the field, 8 of 21, or 4 of 14 from 3, 8 of 21 from the field. He didn't even shoot that well. Still put up 21 points. And again, his over-under was 19.5. Now, it's all the way down to 16.5, and even actually the odds are going down. So you might honestly be able to wait and get a better price. It's now 16.5 at minus 102. I think last night, this 16.5 was minus 114. So the odds are admittedly going down. So again, maybe you can wait and get a better price, but I like the 18 plus for plus money. That's what I officially bet. If you wanted to go safer, you would go the 15.5 at minus 125, or you could go 16.5, kind of split the difference at minus 102. There's really no bad way to play it. I just kind of wanted to get the plus money, and I thought the 18.5 was a nice key number for Malik Beasley. That is play number, play number 2. Play number 3, Jaylen Duren, I went with him on the boards. I went with him 12 plus rebounds. Now, the odds have moved a little bit on this one. It was plus 104 when I got it. It's minus 105 now. I would still take it at minus 105. You can get that at both DraftKings and ESPN Bet. So really no issues there. Actually, sorry, I'm looking at his points. Even better, plus 100. Sorry about that. We're looking at Jaylen Duren over his rebounds. I got plus 100. I got plus 104. So it's plus 100 now. You're really not paying any different than what I got. That makes me happy. You can still get plus money. If this plus 100 is gone, you can still get minus 102. You can still get minus 105. I would take it up to minus 105 is how I would phrase it. So if you're watching this and some of these lines are no longer available, you're good. because you can still get it up to minus 105, and that's where I would take it. In terms of the matchup, another situation where I like this as a fade of recent results for Jaylen Duren. He's missed this in 3 of his last 4 games. Prior to that, he had cashed in like 5 of 7, and he had been pretty decent prior to that as well. Coming off of a really gross game, I mean, only 3 rebounds on 10 rebound chances. We'd hope for more than 10 rebound chances, and we'd hope for a better than 30% conversion rate. Now, the game before then, 20 rebound chances, 12 rebounds. That's kind of more in line with what we're looking at here. Now, admittedly, if you look at the similar players versus the Warriors, it seems like a tough matchup. I've always been of the mind that center rebound props are a good matchup against the Warriors. And if you hover over the matchup, you see that they allow the 3rd most rebounds per game to the center position and the 17th most rebounds in general. So they're generally a good matchup for rebound props. So even though this buy props madness is a little bit scary, I mean, if you look at the players, it's really since the All-Star break, which is kind of what I'm looking at in terms of the new data. It's Sabonis, who had 14 but missed it because his over-under was 4.5. It's Nurkic, who only had 5 rebounds. That was a gross game. And then Claxton cashed it. We go by position since the All-Star break. It's a little bit better. We were on Mark Williams. We cashed out this. Mark Williams cashed again. Maybe it was this one, actually, that we were on. But either way, Mark Williams cashed it again. Drummond had 14 against them. And then it's a couple guys that had 5, and then Claxton cashed it. So I'm not really scared off by this stuff. Again, you hover over the matchup. They're the 3rd worst defense in terms of allowing center rebound props. And that's been the case over the last 30 days as well. So nothing's changed in terms of how the Warriors guard centers. And you look at the last time these two teams played, 12 rebounds, 21 rebound chances. That's kind of exactly what the expectation is. 12 rebounds on 21 rebound chances. Like, you look at how he has performed when he's had at least 20 rebound chances, which I get, like, this is obviously going to look good in our favor because the more rebound chances, the more rebounds you have. But he had 21 against them last time. 20 in 21 games, he's hit the over in 14 of those 21 games. And you just look at teams, we're just going to look at the bottom half in terms of rebounds allowed. And it's generally pretty good. It's a over 50% hit rate, but it's been much better recently. Like, Jaylen Duren, really starting in December is when he started to play consistent minutes. And we see since December, it's 12 of 19 games, and he actually missed it in 1. So it's 12 of his last 18 against teams just in the bottom half in terms of rebounds allowed. We want to look at how they guard center rebound props. We want to look at the bottom half of that as well. Now, again, it's a pretty gross stretch here, but we start this one in January. It's 9 of his last 14. So it's good. It's been relatively good for Duren in these good matchups. It is a good matchup against the Warriors, and I like this as a fade of recent results, considering he missed this in his last 3 of his last 4 games. And then right before that, he had 19 on 33, which is crazy. So that's our 3rd play. Next up, we're going to go to the game of the night, Lakers versus Celtics. I'm going to have 2 plays on this one. Nobody's probably surprised at the first bet we're locking in here. It's Kristaps Porzingis on the first quarter points. Minus 110 odds at Bet365. It was minus 105 at ESPN Bet. Minus 110. I'm still good taking it there. This is the official bet here. Kristaps over 5.5 first quarter points, minus 110 odds at Bet365. Again, I am not a hit rate type of guy, but Kristaps just shows up in the first quarter. Now, he's been off for about a week now due to an injury, an illness, I think is what it was. So the full game would make me a little bit scared for Kristaps, but we saw him last year in the NBA Finals. Like, this was his first game in like 2 months. He scored 11 points. Now, I get it. It's the NBA Finals, but he was juiced in the first quarter of these games and then was gassed after that. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something similar. I mean, it's a massive, massive matchup against the Lakers, so he's going to come out juiced. And as you can tell, I mean, he's hit it in 17 of his last 24 games, a 70% hit rate. We just look at the entire season. It's a 68.8, basically 69. That's very nice percent hit rate. He averages 6.5 points per game in the first quarter. And we see like he was a little bit hit or miss to start the year, and then he just went on an absolutely obscene stretch. So if we're looking at the data since January 7th, it's 16 of 19 games, averaging almost 8. Like, anytime you can get 5.5 for reasonable odds, it's a hit for Kristaps Porzingis. Now, in terms of the matchup, it's not amazing, obviously. Like the Lakers have been a really good defense recently. If you look at the shot zone on the court, they're kind of average everywhere. In terms of the play types, they don't give up much to pick and roll men or via free throws, but they're average guarding the post ups and guarding the spot up. Centers against them admittedly haven't performed well, but Kristaps has done this in the toughest matchups, like 11 points against the Lakers last time he played. And you look at some of the matchups here, like he's done it in tough matchups as well. So Kristaps over 5.5 first quarter points. And then the last bet that I have is also going to be our ladder play as well. And we're going Luka Doncic. Now, I really struggled how I wanted to play Luka. I like his matchup for the points. I like his matchup for the rebounds as well. He's been a monster in the first quarter in his recent games. I mean, he's only gone you can get 7.5 at -125. He's hit that in like 6 of his last 7 games. There's a lot of ways you could back Luka. The way I decided to back him was I took him for a full unit to record a double-double, which is -110 odds at Bet365. And I put a quarter unit on him to record a triple-double that's +750 odds at Bet365. The only caveat here is that when you place the bet for triple-double, you actually have to write it out as 10 plus rebounds and 10 plus assists. That's where you can get the +750 odds. So the reason why I like the matchup, or the reason why I like the double-double and the triple-double, for starters, he's been awesome as a playmaker recently. Like he started off really slow with LeBron, excuse me. He started off pretty slow. Like he missed it in his first 2 games, played like 25 minutes, started playing more, and started doing much better from an assist perspective as well. Like we look at his last 6 games, it's 4 of his last 6. It's averaging almost 10 assists per game, and the potential assists are pretty good as well. Like one game he had gross only 9, another game 14, and it's been pretty good other than that. So the assist is what he's been really good at. Normally, I would not expect the assist to be a good matchup against the Celtics. I mean, but you can't lie. The numbers can't lie to you. 8 of 11 players with a similar playmaking style to Luka Doncic have hit their assist prop over. And you look at the guys, it's high usage guards like Luka. Even with LeBron, Luka's playmaking has been really good. I mean, Cade, 11 against them, 14 against them, and then had 1 game with 8. Fred VanVleet hit it in 1 game, missed it in the other. Trae Young had 11 against them. Cade had it 3 of 4 times. Halliburton had 12. Harden cashed it. You look at these guys, it's pretty good in terms of the names and how they equate to Luka. So he could get it with the assists. And the rebounds, I really like as a fade of recent results. You look at his his games with LeBron. So he's only hit, we need to go up to 10. Excuse me. He's only hit 10 rebounds in 4 of his 10 games, but you look at his last 8, it's 4 for 4, 0 for 4. So this is another situation where I like this as a fade of recent results for Luka. It's always a concern with him and Bron splitting rebounds because Bron's been really good as a rebounder recently. Like when you look at LeBron, he's been really good recently. So it's almost like as Luka hasn't been rebounding recently, LeBron has. So there's always that concern. But I love this matchup for Luka on the rebounds. 5 of 11 isn't amazing. You look at the position 4 of 8 isn't amazing. But it's all about the shot diet for the Celtics, and you just look at like the head-to-head. He hasn't played them this year, and I get that like this is not perfect because he played for the Mavericks last year, but just to kind of show you, he hit 10 or more rebounds in 5 of 7 games against the Celtics last year, and he did it in both regular season games. Now again, different situation, but he has had situations with the Lakers, with LeBron, where he's been rebounding a ton. I mean, 20 rebound chances, 16, 23, 18. It's obviously a massive, massive game. And, the Celtics did just they beat him in the finals last year. So maybe Luka comes out motivated. I just really like the matchup. And I mean, I think he could I'm very, very confident he's going to get at least one of these assists and rebounds. And then it's might as well sprinkle the triple double because he could do it in both as well. So I really like, those are my official plays for Luka. You could bet him 30 plus points. And I think that would be a good bet. He's been really good recently, 3 of his last 4. He's been really good. His shot percentage isn't that great. I mean, 4 of 12, 9 of 23. This one is fine. 6 of 13 from deep is good, but 9 of 19 from the floor is not. 9 of 17 is decent. 5 of 12 is decent. So it's not like he's been shooting amazing. And then this is a gross game against the Clippers, 9 of 22 and 3 of 9. So points is a good matchup for him against the Celtics. And again, first quarter points, he's just been on fire recently, and you can get, I guess they bumped that, so you can't even get that 7.5 anymore. But 8.5 at +115 is not bad when you just line shop that everywhere else. So that is, like, if you just wanted to go heavy Luka, you could do that because like there were 5 different ways you could bet him. in terms of another lean, so this Bulls Heat game, the Heat are coming off of a back-to-back. They just played last night. I want to know who is playing for them before I really decide what I want to do with Heat players. In terms of guys on the Bulls, my favorite play is actually Zach Collins on the rebounds. You can't look at the entire season. 4 of 24 is gross. You can only really look at since he's been a member of the Bulls and since Vooch got hurt. So recently it's been like 5 games as a member of the Bulls. He's hit it 3 of his last 5. And look at his rebound chances. I mean, he's averaging almost 18 per game. He had a gross game last time out. Only played 12 minutes, 5 rebound chances, but 12 of 20, 5 of 10 is not good. And then 13 of 29 is crazy, and 17 of 25 is also crazy. The Heat are generally a good matchup for center rebound props, 9 of 15 on the year. Now, he's listed as like a forward center, so the positional stuff is a little bit wonky with Props Madness, but he is who I would go. Giddey is also a good look because, I mean, Giddey has been phenomenal without Vooch. He's hit his point prop of 16.5 in every single game. He's hit his assist prop in 5 of 6 games and his rebound prop in 4 of 6. So if you just wanted to go PRA on Giddey and just be like, hey, he's been amazing with these guys out of the lineup, so I'm going to bet him, I wouldn't blame you at all. The matchup isn't as good for Giddey, and on all accounts, like the rebounds isn't as good. The assist is decent, but assists in general, but 2 of 7 is not great, although Giddey did cash it. And then the points, I generally look for someone that's a better shooter against the Heat, but 7 of 13 isn't bad. Play type is average. So this is really the only other game that I had some leans on. I didn't officially bet anything, so I don't have anything for you guys. But that's all we got. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe. Real quick, just to recap my plays. Luka Doncic, double-double for a full unit. Luka Doncic, triple-double for a quarter unit. KP, Kristaps Porzingis, over 5.5 first quarter points. Jaylen Duren, 12-plus rebounds. Malik Beasley, 18-plus points. Damian Lillard, 25-plus points. Appreciate everybody for watching. In terms of the action items, if you will, check out the links in the description of the video. I put out I have a link to Props Madness, which I already talked to you guys about. I also have a link. It's called, the company is called OddsShopper or Tails. It's just a way for me to send my plays out to you guys early. So if you don't always want to watch the YouTube videos, or you don't always have time, or you just want to lock in stuff before the odds change, that's why I offer a Tails account. So if you're interested in that, check it out. I put a link both in the description and the pinned comment. OddsShopper is an amazing company. Happy to have started working with them. So check that out if you want to support the channel. If not, no problem. Appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to bet responsibly and have a good one.